Hey guys, I am back and we are doing another viewer requested review tonight. We've looked at, a handful. I want to use the word specifically, quite a few multi-tools. And I always say that Gerber is in my opinion, a good multi-tool producer. Not a huge fan of a lot of their knives. They make a couple I like, but in general, I don't know. I like their tools. Not a huge fan of their knives. This is one I haven't tried before, though. I've tried a few of them, but the Gerber suspension is not one that I'm really familiar with. I've had probably 2 or 3 requests to look specifically at the Gerber suspension. The various reasons in the request why they wanted to see it. But, whenever I get multiple requests for kind of the same thing, it's sort of one of those, hey, I better take a look at it. So let's see what we got. I think it's cool that it's a multi-tool with a pocket clip. It doesn't come with a sheath or anything like that, unfortunately. But we'll give it a good, honest shake, even though it doesn't have that. I was going to order it from Amazon, and it was actually in my cart, but I happened to be in Target getting something else, and there it was. Then I wish I had gotten it on Amazon because it actually is cheaper on Amazon. But there it was. Saved myself 2 days of waiting, and have it now. So we're gonna take a look at it. For the unpackaging, I can't even call it unboxing, since a lot of you guys are still interested. I just reorganized my entire knife collection. And it kind of got me a chance to look at ones I haven't seen in years, because if I don't go in those particular drawers, I don't see them. And one that I fell in love with when I first saw it, Jeff Hall, amazing knife designer, decades of experience, makes some really awesome, very high-end, very expensive knives. He also has his own company called Nemesis Knives, and they put out some I don't want to say lower end, but less expensive versions of some of his more expensive designs. And this is the Manx by Nemesis, not by Jeff Hall, but designed by Jeff Hall, put out by Nemesis Knives. I love it. If you've got big hands, this knife can be a little challenging, opening, because that lock bar tends to get squeezed. But once you get good at it, though, and you get used to it, it's a beautiful knife. I have 2 of them, actually, one with a black coated blade, one with silver. When I first got it, I was having trouble opening it, and I wasn't sure what the deal was, so I emailed the company, and I got a response from Jeff Hall himself, who said, hey, here's the deal with the knife. You got to make sure you're not squeezing on the lock bar. Anyway, so the Jeff Hall Nemesis Manx, really cool knife. And I'm actually going to be careful not to destroy packaging, because you see there's all sorts of stuff on the packaging that we might want to look at. So I got it on one of these blue shop towels just because when I took it out, a little oily, like a lot of companies are apt to do sometimes when they package stuff up. So that's a little bit annoying, but I just didn't want to get this towel all oily. This towel all oily. Okay, so this has a kind of a whole tool outline on the card, so we'll be referring to that as we go through this. Spring-loaded, as you can see, which you guys know I think is a pretty cool feature. Just going to give this a little wipe down as we get ready to go through everything. We may refer to some other tools that I have on hand, or we may not, just for comparison purposes. I don't know. We'll see how we feel as we go through it. One thing that I'm noticing off the bat is that while it does have some different screwdriver options, it does not seem to have any bit options at all. So it has a couple options on here for you, but that's kind of it. So if that's something that you value in your multi-tool, you might want to rule this one out right away. It's important to some people. It's not as important to other people, but again, we'll take a look as we go. I'm going to start off by saying this is a pretty lightweight tool. I don't think it says on here right now anything about the weight. It doesn't. Not at all. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say the weight. And my digital scale that I use all the time is actually in a Tupperware box in the shed right now, because I actually did a whole lot of reorganizing and cleaning, and I just packed some stuff up to get out of the way for a little bit. So I don't have it with me, but there'll be text in the video, you know, after I get it out, tell you exactly how much this thing weighs. But it is very, very light compared to a lot of the tools I have. I'd say it is comparable to the Leatherman Signal is a pretty lightweight tool, but I can feel a very clear difference between the Signal and the suspension here. You know, I don't want to put myself on the line there and say, oh, I feel a difference of 1.3 ounce. I don't know, but I can clearly feel that even though this is probably one of the lightest weight multi-tools I have, the suspension is significantly lighter. You can feel a difference. So, lightweight, if that's something you're going for, you've got that right here. Butterfly mechanism, which, you know, over time, if you work it in really good, it can be one-handed opening, but that also means sometimes it's really floppy and it doesn't stay closed very well. I'm a big fan of one-handed opening tools, and this, you know, definitely is not. I am really impressed with the weight on this thing. Anyway, so butterfly opening. You've got spring-loaded pliers there, and so as always, they're going to call this a total of 4 tools in there. Okay. So following along, you know, on the card. You've got needle nose pliers, you've got standard pliers, you've got non-replaceable wire cutters. So I'm sorry, that's 3 tools. 1, 2, 3, right there. And they, by the way, say that there's a total of 15 tools on here. Spring is very light. You're not going to fight against a lot of force, but definitely is snappy there. The Signal, which I guess we'll compare it to because it's similar in size and close in weight, has the same kind of features with your needle nose and your regular and wire cutters, except the wire cutters here are replaceable for when they wear out, but it's a lot stiffer compared to this, and no spring. It's all manual. But it's also a butterfly opening, you know, mechanism there, but pocket clip and everything cool. But it also comes with a sheath. So this and that, pros and cons. So anyway, we got our first 3 tools, all spring loaded. It looks like it would be kind of uncomfortable with just the skeletonized handles there. It's really not. There's more comfortable handles out there, but it's not uncomfortable. Kind of no matter which way you want to hold it. This clip does not kind of get in your... You don't feel it at all when you're holding it, whether it's kind of face towards your palm or out. It's a really nicely designed clip. It's actually, wow. It's got tension, but at the same time, it's not one of those ones that's impossible to move. And I think, you know, if you have a lot of experience with pocket clips on knives, there are some that, in order to get good tension in your pocket, they are so stiff. Sometimes you have to really fight to get them in your pocket. This one gives nicely, but you can also feel that snap to hold it in there. That's actually a nicely designed pocket clip. I like it. I don't think you can change it. If you take a look, kind of the way it's positioned there, there's a little notch cut in there. So the pocket clip is where the pocket clip is. You're not going to move it around to change, you know, any kind of positioning. It is where it is. We'll just go in the numerical order on this card. So, number 4, you've got scissors, which, there we go, kind of stiff. I'm not sure how much value scissors like this on a tool has. That's for you to decide again. I've never really, I mean, they're nifty. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. I'm going to grab a piece of paper from the printer right here. Okay. They cut very cleanly. I mean, they're functional, but they're small. They're really small. It is what it is. A little piece of 550 cord that we will be using for the testing later. I know this is not something that you would use these kinds of scissors for normally, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, they get stuck, but do they cut? That's actually not bad for a little pair of scissors like this. You know, 2 cuts all the way through. And it's actually not too bad a cut. I mean, if you are into it, that's cool. I've spent way too long talking about a pair of scissors. Again, not my thing, but they're there as a tool on this if you want them. So, yippee-ki-yay, mother scissors. Okay, you've got them. Moving to the other side, we've got to get this file out. So the file is a combination of 3 tools. So on the tip there, that's, oh, look at that. That's your medium flathead screwdriver. It is also your ruler on the reverse, right there. And it is your file. So, small. And are you getting the picture? This is not a hard use multi-tool. This is kind of an EDC kind of multi-tool. So not big overbearing kind of tools like you would find on, say, a Leatherman Mutt or the Super Tool 300 or something. Just small EDC, you know, kind of light use kind of tools. Moving back to the other side. Where is our wire stripper? So here is the wire stripper, and I know the lighting's not great in here, but if you can see that little notch, it's kind of sharpened edges right there that come to a notch. Bouncing back to the other side, and again, you know, just because I'm following the card and the numbers. So on the other side here, number 9, this is your awl, and it's not a sharpened edge, but you could sharpen that very easily for a secondary blade right there if you wanted to. Number 9, back over here to number 10, large flathead driver. So, medium. So here's your medium, and here's your large. And number 11, here it comes. Here is your bottle opener, because it's got to have a bottle opener, because everything. I mean, bottle openers on these are pretty standard. It's not like putting it on the blade of a knife. So you got a bottle opener, followed immediately by a can opener. And yes, there are people that don't know how to use this to open a can. And when I said that in a video, some guy got all pissy about it and was like, you're lying. There's nobody that doesn't know how to use that. And I actually do have people that say, how does that open a can? I will show you guys one day, I promise. And then followed by tool number 13, your small flathead screwdriver right there. And then we've got a, wow, that is a small blade. So tool number 14 is your partially serrated blade. That is a very small blade. I'm going to put the rest of these tools back in, guys, because we're going to test that blade out soon. And by the way, all these tools lock. I just haven't put any of them all the way out. This lock just got a little stuck. Needed to break it in. So every tool does, in fact, lock. We'll get back to this blade in a minute. But finally, tool number 15, they're calling it a cross driver. I have never heard that referred to as a cross driver. Phillips head, maybe. But you've got one size fits all, so hope that does it. And that's it. That is all of your tools on this driver. And then they have 2 features. And I really appreciate Gerber not trying to call the pocket clip a tool and not trying to call the lanyard hole, this little guy right here that fits through there is lanyard hole, not trying to call the lanyard hole a tool. Thank you, because I don't know how many times I've been pissed off when I see like, oh wow, 17 tools, and like 4 of those things are a pocket clip and a lanyard hole and the lock that locks the blade. I mean, that just pisses me off. Those are not tools. Thank you, Gerber. Good thinking. Good integrity. So 2 of the features are the pocket clip and the lanyard hole. Interesting lanyard hole. I have not seen one like that on a multi-tool before. 15 tools, 2 little features, lightweight, EDC style. I'm going to reiterate that. Just like the Signal. This is like camping EDC. This is not a hard use, take this on a deployment to war with you multi-tool. Although it does have a significantly bigger, better blade than the suspension. And yes, I did actually just forget the name of the tool I was reviewing. Compare blades right there. One is bigger, better, faster than the other. As a matter of fact, there are 2 different blades on the Signal, a saw blade and an actual knife blade. Now, it might be different philosophies. Again, this is an outdoorsy kind of camping sort of multi-tool, which also, EDC kind of purposes as well. This one clearly is really more of an EDC intended kind of tool. There are people who are going to like that, though. There might be laws that would, in certain areas, or, I'm just spitballing here, okay? I'm not saying this for sure. Just maybe you work in a place. There are individual places that can set their own rules where a blade this size might be illegal, but something like this works. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just highlighting the differences. That's all. That's all I'm doing. So let's take a look at this blade right out of the package, since we already have this paper here. It's not bad. It feels, I'm going to use the word crunchy because I can't think of another word. It's honed. It's ready to go. It feels like there's a little bit of resistance, and I honestly cannot think of a better way to describe it. You see, it's doing just fine. It is. But I don't know if you can hear it. Normally when we do this and it's a really nice, well-done blade, we don't hear that sort of what I describe as almost like when you've got a pivot on a knife. A really well-done one is just really quiet, but like one that's not quite as well done, you hear it move a little bit, and to me that's sort of that's why I'm calling it crunchiness. I don't know what else to say. It's well done. It's really good. If I was going to carry this one, I would spend a little bit of time on a fine or a very fine diamond hone, just a little tiny bit, maybe just 10 passes each side, and then strop it just like 30 seconds, and I think this thing would be super razor sharp, ready to go, like perfect. When your blade is that small, my theory is give it as outstanding an edge as possible, so that you have all the cutting power you can in as small a package as you get it. I don't have a great feeling for the pull-through test, but maybe I'm about to eat crow and look like an idiot with my foot in my mouth. Who knows? Let's check it out. I now have a big old crow sandwich. My foot is halfway down my throat, and I look like an idiot. That was incredibly easy. Okay, I was entirely wrong. Go figure. That happens at least every 3 videos. I say something incredibly stupid, and I look like an idiot. And here's the cut. Not the cleanest cut, but you saw how easy it went right through it. So, that's what matters. If you needed this in a pinch to cut something, that's what it does. It was very, very easy. Slice. I actually felt like it was easier to do the pull through than it was to do the slice. But, it did it very nicely. So one day I'll have to put together a bunch of clips of like the 10 times I looked like the stupidest idiot in all the videos, and this will be one of them. Talking about how I didn't feel like the blade was finished as well as it could have been, and then where, fancy, purpose-built knife blades have not cut through the cord that cleanly and that easily. And this one that I just said, I feel like it needs to be honed and refined a little bit more. Okay. So that was pretty good. What do you guys think? So overall, I think that, looking at the suspension as a whole, the pros, the good things about it, number one, so let's say you've got a job where you need to carry a multi-tool around, right? Like, it's... And I can think of a whole lot of people that can benefit from carrying a multi-tool around. Lightweight, number one. Huge pro. Sure, a lot of people are familiar with the phrase, ounces make pounds, right? Very lightweight. Very slim design, too. Comfortable. Every tool locks. You've got these spring-loaded pliers, which I always am a fan of. Cons, I would like it to come with a pouch. That would be cool. I think it would be nice to have the option. You might not want it in your pocket. Maybe you want to carry it on a belt. Now, there are plenty of aftermarket pouches that you can get and sheaths and stuff, so it's not like you're just screwed out of the option. It would be nice if it came with it. Other cons. The tools that do come with it, limited, especially in the bits category, like the driver category. I really like to have the option, especially working on, okay, and again, this is me, but when you work with knives and you work with firearms all day, every screw is a different size. Every, I mean, going between Torx to Allen to everything in between, you know, flathead, Phillips. I love having the option to use different bits all the time. I like having a slightly bigger knife blade too. That's a little knife. It sometimes doesn't matter. Sometimes, you know, any blade is great. I like to have a slightly bigger, beefier knife blade though, depending on what I'm doing. In a workplace setting, just EDC might not matter, but I like to have it give me the option to use it wherever. A little bit limited because of the size of the tools, I think, depending what you're going to do. If that's not a factor for you, though, if you don't care, those small tools are probably part of the reason that this thing weighs so little, is so slim, and is such a great EDC pocket-sized tool. So factor that in for you too. I think that this would suit the needs of a lot of people, though. Again, EDC-wise, you know, on the job, in a indoor kind of setting. Not people that have to do their majority of their work out in the field, where they might need a stronger, kind of bigger, beefier tool. Yeah, I set myself up for that one, didn't I? So anyway, that's my first impressions of it. That's what I'm thinking when I look at this. So now, what do you guys think? Anybody have one and want to share their thoughts? Because really, that would be a much more educated opinion than mine. I'm just telling you what I think. So, does anybody out in YouTube land have one of these, and would you recommend it to somebody looking for a new multi-tool in this kind of price range? Or would you not, and why? You guys see some features that you really do like, or something that you really don't like? Or is there another tool that you'd compare this to, maybe? You know, like I said, I compared it to the Leatherman Signal, size, weight, and some of the relative features. Is there something you think it compares to better, that it's a closer match to, that you'd like to see it next to? What are your thoughts? But if anybody is interested in one of these, I will throw this up in the multi-tool section on my Amazon page. So, easy to find. It is cheaper than Target. Wish I had gone to Amazon first. But, yep. If you're interested in buying it, you're going to pick one up anyway. You can just click the product link on the DocP Amazon page, and it would be much appreciated. And then you would be helping bring more cool stuff to this channel. Maybe even helping with the next big giveaway we're going to do, whenever that is. So you guys discuss. I have to continue with the reorganization of the knife collection, because I know you guys want a full collection video, and that's why I'm reorganizing them and in a way that's much easier for me to give you that and show them in some rational kind of way. So that'll be coming really soon for you guys. I'm going to work on that. You guys do your thing. And while you're doing that, remember, I'm running out of good segues for this, but seriously, I mean it. You guys are all absolutely awesome. I do appreciate every single one of you, for real. And I'll be back again real soon.